to Machado, and she decided to accept the honor last year. Machado, ahead of the meeting with Trump, said that she would share the prize with him, but the Nobel Committee later clarified that it was not transferable. Trump had previously described Machado as a freedom fighter, but rejected the notion of appointing her to lead Venezuela after Maduro's removal, arguing that she lacks sufficient domestic support. Listen in to what Machado had to say.
I presented the President of the United States the medal of the Nobel Peace Prize, and I told him this, listen to this. 200 years ago, General Lafayette gave Simón Bolívar a medal with George Washington's face on it. Bolívar since then kept that medal for the rest of his life. Actually, when you see his portraits, you can see the medal there. And it was given by General Lafayette as a sign of the brotherhood between the United States, people of the United States and the people of Venezuela in their fight for freedom against tyranny. And 200 years in history, the people of Bolívar are giving back to the heir of Washington a medal, in this case a medal of the Nobel Peace Prize, as a recognition for his unique commitment.
Meanwhile, ahead of the meeting between US President Trump and White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt has said that Trump's assessment of support for Machado still stands. Let's take a listen.
Is it still the president's assessment that it would be very hard for Ms. Machado to leave Venezuela because he says she lacks the respect and support in that country? And will he raise that with her today?
I think the president's assessment that you just pointed out was based on realities on the ground. It was a realistic assessment based on what the president was reading and hearing from his advisors and national security team. And at this moment in time, his opinion on that matter has not changed.
Ross Feingold joins us once again to discuss this. Rossi, an interesting development today in this in the Venezuela saga. Do you think the Nobel Peace Prize winner Machado will be disappointed now that she hasn't been given any sort of indication that she'll be in Venezuela's future whatsoever?
Of course, she's hugely disappointed. There's one thing that she wants, and giving her Nobel Prize to President Trump is part of that. She wants to be the leader of Venezuela. She was barred by the Maduro dictatorship from participating in the election, but basically her proxy candidate won, and then the result was stolen by Maduro. So she does think she has legitimacy as the leader, and she's probably very perplexed that President Trump has taken this view that she lacks legitimacy and shouldn't be the leader. This is all, of course, very much a work in progress. Right now, we still have basically Maduro's people running the country, even though President Trump said that the U.S. is going to run the country. We really don't know what level of involvement in day-to-day government in Venezuela President Trump intends for the United States to have. Will there be an early election? Are they going to wait until the next election is scheduled to occur? Is Trump going to really take an action to push out the current government overnight, and then there really would be an opportunity for Machado to take power. So all of that is really unknown at the moment, but one thing we do know is that she wants to remain relevant. She is still trying to say that I really am the person at the moment that the people support as the leader. Unfortunately, things aren't working out as easily as she had hoped.
What do you think of the politicization of the award? How do you think the Nobel Prize Committee will be looking at all the events that have happened after she was awarded the prize?
the politicalization of the Nobel Peace Prize is something that's been going on for literally decades. So I think the current committee members are somewhat immune to that, or whether it's criticism or whether it's discussion afterwards. Why did you award it to this person and not that person? It kind of comes with the job. So again, I think they're kind of immune from that pressure. I will say this, though, if there is a Ukraine-Russia ceasefire agreement in the coming weeks before the deadline, and keeping in mind the deadline for the 2025 prize is upcoming as well, then it becomes more difficult to ignore President Trump, because as President Trump likes to remind us, he's been involved with negotiating ceasefires for, he says, 8 different wars. There's debate about whether or not that's accurate. But if Ukraine and Russia do reach an agreement, then I think it becomes more compelling to award it to President Trump. But again, the committee, I think they're immune to whatever President Trump says, or the White House spokesperson says at the podium, or people say on social media.
Ross Feingold, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to talk to you. As always, thank you for taking the time. We now move on, and the United